So you had several, it was probably about 3 or 4 years ago. the Valuations Northwest came out and they did property inspections to all of the ICAP properties. Kind of did it in waves, and I think you guys were maybe 4 years ago. So they went like the wastewater treatment plants and the buildings, like the older buildings that had high value. Then they go through those and they did property valuations on those. So at that time, a few years ago, we bumped up coverage on several buildings, and then they picked up. We had something that wasn't scheduled that they picked up and found. We added coverage. Otherwise, it's basically you guys give me a value, square footage, and if they'll do a cost estimator if they feel like the coverage isn't where it should be. But for the most part, they just go off of what you tell me.
Okay.
So, and there's buildings, you have to think about too, because there are buildings that if they go down, would you put them back up?
Right.
We have to, if you're thinking about increasing deductibles, if you've got something that's only insured for $5,000 or something like that, the premium amount might not be a whole lot on that particular building, but if you're not going to do anything with it, if it goes down, something to think about too.
With all these multiple buildings, or do they have some way of labeling each and every one per the breakout, so that we know which one is which?
So the schedule, the statement of values, it has each building as like location 252 is clear well, 100 clear well, or 100. That what you're saying?
Yeah, well, like, let's just say the example on any of these 5 that are on JF Smith Drive. They have a
Which building in particular?
which one is
Yes, yep.
They're numbered by the 20 and 23. That here.
So the number that's just on the breakout,
Mhm.
if you match that up with the statement of values, it'll show the description of what it is. So you said,
but we'd know which building to go to, like if we were
Yeah.
looking at it.
yep. So this part of it, the statement of values,
Mhm.
this has the description of
Okay.
what the building is. It's a lot of information. So,
That's what we're doing next month.
Yeah, I think that'd be great to take that home and study that.
you can take a look at it. Like I said, let me know if you think of something else that you question.
So are we required anywhere in our policies do we have to, say you had a building destroyed, do we have to replace it or?
So you have the buildings that, for instance, I think pretty much all of your buildings have replacement costs on them. So if the building goes down, you have to rebuild like kind and quality to get replacement costs back. If you don't, you get the actual cash value amount.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Hey, any questions? More questions for Tara? Thanks.
I assume that's the same with the vehicles then too.
Well, vehicles are actual cash value at the time of loss, so that's pretty standard for a commercial. But you took the fire trucks off, so fire trucks were one that you could put replacement cost on them, and some heavier equipment you can put replacement cost on. Like you've got a Bobcat utility machine with replacement cost, and you've got a cat loader, and that's got replacement cost on it. But you have to insure it for what the value would be today. So that's your requirements.
Okay.
Anything else?
Thanks.
All right, thank you.
Okay, moving on then to item number 7, Chris Holford from Hall Robertson.
Thank you, Paul, my sister-in-law. Thank you very much.
Really?
Yeah. Thank you for your time this evening. Earlier today, I dropped off a little packet of what we're looking to do down at the intersection of North Maple and Mott Street. Better known as the old co-op shop, if you will. I gave the proposal of what we're looking to do to widen that approach onto Mott Street coming off of North Maple. The biggest reasons is primarily safety for the community. Traffic situation, we always right now take outside semis behind Turner Hall and the fire station, which at times can be a challenge with livestock buying there. And then also in the winter time with snow removal, at times it could be a challenge for both the city and for us to try and get trucks through there. As stated in our proposal, we would like to, what we're going to do first of all is take off the lean-to that's on the south side of that building. And then we would cut into that hillside that approach another 15 to 20 feet. So we can widen that entrance from 30 feet to basically a 45-foot entrance, which would allow us to bring all semis past the ball diamond and then head south and make the turn properly into Mott Street. By doing that, and we would match the grade that's existing right there at Mott Street. By coming in that way, it would not put too much pressure on the fifth wheel on any trailers making that turn. Anybody drives a semi knows that the more space you have to make a turn on, the less tension you have, less chance of a potential accident, and also just better on equipment as well. That's kind of what we're looking to do.
So is this picture north, is this like north? Is this north up here on this picture?
Yes.
Yes, it's so
This
would
is
be
going
the,
north, and
this
this
would
is
be
where
the-
you're talking
we're
about.
talking right here, this little lean-to right here.
Oh, okay,
That would be coming off.
okay, gotcha.
The little white lean-to off of Maple Street.
That's where tires are thrown.
Yes, yep, exactly.
Tire shed.
Yep, the old tire shed right there. So number one, we're going to clean up an ice storm that's there. This is also part of,
Does that belong to you, that?
yes, yeah, we purchased that from the co-op a little over a year ago.
Okay,
All
so
right.
it's you just want to be able to pick that shed down?
We're gonna take that lean-to off and then say widen that approach on Mott Street
Uh-huh.
at no cost to the city. We would foot the entire bill. We would match the grade that's there currently. That would be safe for trucks and travel. And also actually would open up that intersection a little bit better for better safety for view. Because right now where that lean-to is at, there's only about 1.5 foot clearance from the lean-to to where Mott Street is.
Street, yeah.
So we'll take that 20-foot lean-to off. We'll widen the approach by 10 feet to 15 feet at the base. So it opens up an extra 10 to 12 feet of observation when you come to the stop sign. So it's going to clean up that intersection a little bit better for people coming from the north primarily.
So where are these big trucks coming in, off of Smith or?
Right now, what we're doing, we're coming in off of Mott Street right behind Turner Hall. So we're coming through here right by the buying station and by the tanks and such.
Oh, okay.
So now some drivers have a challenge at making that corner. The guys who drive in New York have no problem whatsoever.
Wonder why.
Yes, exactly. Let's see. We've got Bacon Concrete. They will do the work for us. Get things put in there. I talked to Dave Emo about the situation at hand. They wouldn't involve any type of water issue or take care of a curb stop or that nature. So we're sitting good that way. We would replace the stop sign that is there as well with the approval of the city or the chief of police, how we want to do that to make sure it goes back in place. It's there currently. Let's see, with some new young families down here on East Green Street, we can bypass all that and just go by the ball diamond instead, just cross the tracks and take a right at the newspaper office and come in that way. It'll be a lot safer, less traffic, and also would eliminate any type of traffic with the fire station and EMS and such at that point in time too. So just basically looking for approval or table and discuss and come back at the next meeting.
Have you got I guess a projected time on when you're gonna?
We're open to it. We're pretty flexible. There's no doubt about it. It's more of be a rainy day project for when Bacon Concrete can't pour anything and such. So it'd be sometime maybe June, July. Our crew will remove the lean-to that's there, and then once that's down, that structure's down, it'll be whenever works for Bacon Concrete to come in and do a little excavating and cleaning up and such.
This isn't the building that you had talked to me about, the holding tank.
No, that would be our new build that's further down.
Further
Actually,
east.
the 301 Mott Street address would be the one that we had talked about.
Okay.
And that's what, this will be kind of stage one of a 3-stage project. We're gonna reface that building. It's got the water there and such, rather than move water and sewer down to that building. We talked about getting the permit to put the holding tank in. You just buy the guy as a golf cart or a side by side, they can drive up and use the facilities up there as time goes on. Our goal is in sometime in the future to build on and add on to that from our existing warehouse to the co-op shop as well. But the interest rates right now, I don't explain that to you folks, but they're also, yeah, wait a little bit on that. So,
Yes, understandable.
any questions, concerns, suggestions? We are open to it.
Do we need to make a motion?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can,
I don't see any reason to not go ahead with this. I would move that we grant this request by Hall Roberts. Go ahead and do the, widening of the approach from Mott Street and the intersection of North Maple.
further discussion. I gotta throw my 2 cents in here because I can't
Well, you
vote.
should.
But this is a project that truly needs to be done. It's like, if you take a look, and I do drive truck,
I
you
don't know.
know, and it's like, and I know why people in New York get along with that because they never look in the mirrors anyway. They don't care what they run over as long as they're going ahead. But I mean, to get this thing out of that, first of all, you got 2 45s, and then you've got lots of, dust, and we treat for dust, you know, and we need to treat for dust because, you know, people that live in town should have to put up with that.
And we partner up with you folks too. When you guys
Absolutely, you
go out
bet.
at the same time.
And you've been great with that. And it's so one of these, it's just one of these situations that can get fixed. And sometimes that doesn't happen. So, I mean, I think it's a great deal, and thanks for making the effort.
Yeah, thanks for
Yeah.
taking care of it.
There, I had 2 cents worth in there. So, anybody else? All right. Favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Carried.
Thank you very
You
much.
bet.
Appreciate it.
Is every road equipment, piece of road equipment in Northeast Iowa and Postville this summer? I mean,
Well, we got a lot of things going on, you know. Yeah. All right, let's go on to item 8, Artie.
Since I've approached this podium and talked to some of you, I'll just pass these around. In the midst of a heavy agenda for you, I bring you some fun. I hope that you'll see it that way for the community. Just a brief background of how this all came together is 2 years ago, I put Monona on the list for the circus to come to town. It takes 2 years, and it's been a long 2 years. And when it finally came, there were conflicts and things that just aren't coming together for Monona. So I began to think through the process a little bit, and in order to save face, if you will, with the circus and the commitment that I made, I decided that perhaps Big Four Fairgrounds might be a better choice. And being that is in Postville, I wanted to bring it to Postville. The contract has been signed. The date for this is August 3rd, and they do 2 shows, 2:00 and 4:30. Each show can hold up to 600 people. So if we do our homework and do our promoting and our marketing and our ticket sales, we'll be bringing a lot of people to town. I made a verbal commitment that the contract would be signed, and then they sent a paper contract. Well, in the meantime, time crunch put me in kind of a bind, and so I went to Dennis. I don't know how you came about, but I'm assuming that it is okay that the circus comes. And my role now is to really keep you updated on how this is all going to take place. And
Cece?
the city of
Okay,
Postville
I'm
is
just gonna put
listed
you on
the
speaker.
contract
You'll
as
be
a
up next, okay?
co-sponsor. And Darcy is listed as the second contact. So Darcy, I will have everything between Darcy and I will be working together up front. The pamphlet I handed out is a little bit about how the promotions work and what you stand to gain on it. So throughout this process, if you have questions ever, Darcy should know, because everything I learn will be shared with Darcy. And
So as far as those ticket sales that, you're wanting people to sell tickets, are you gonna give them to,
I hope so.
And then,
That's how it's,
like,
that's how
are you
it's
gonna
been done
kind of
in
be
the
in
past.
charge of all of that part of it?
Pardon?
Are you gonna be in charge of that part of it?
Well, the tickets, and the nice thing about it is we don't have to do any, they print the posters for us, they print the tickets. So it's just a matter of approaching some of our businesses, the banks. I will sell some in Monona as a co-partner. And anybody that's willing to sell tickets for us, it's just a plus. We don't have a committee per se, but I think if some of us band together and promote the tickets, I think we'll be okay. There's also ticket sales at the door, of course, so a lot of it is promoting, you know. So I hope that will work out. The one thing I want to stress is they themselves handle the event insurance. So I don't have to look for insurance. You don't have to look for extra insurance. They write the insurance. So right now, I'm listed, or Monona. City of Postville is listed. And their question is, and I couldn't answer it right away, and I maybe should know the answer to this, but the Big Four Fairgrounds land is owned by who?
The city
City.
of Postville.
The what?
The city.
of
City,
Postville.
so that we're covered them. Otherwise, they would have added Big Four
Okay.
Fair. So the insurance is all covered, and I think that's a plus. Then the other thing they asked about, of course, is we talked about restrooms. And I mentioned that the buildings are the only restrooms that are on the ground and that they would have to be open. I don't know if they would want to do that, plus they'd be a little bit further away from where I envision the circus being set up. And so the other nice thing they do is they order porta potties. We don't even have to do that.
We
So I'm
paid for them. We paid for them.
I don't think so. I think they
They
provide that.
paid, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. So they're just so good to work with, and the same circus has been in past years has been in Waukon, so I'm a little bit familiar, which is why I reached out to them. They were well received in Waukon, and the circus themselves liked Waukon, and so I think we can set that same precedence by what we're how we welcome them, but they take care of everything, and they clean up. The things that you're reading are the things that we will have to work with. Your city guides maybe would have to help. And then there's only one more thing that I want to stress. The circus is adamant that this is an event that stands alone. They come in and it's their event. It's a circus. They are not going to allow us, nor would we probably need it in the afternoon, but they're not going to allow us to bring in food vendors or fundraising, other things that they have what they need, and that's what they stress. The other thing is, if there would be some fundraising opportunities in town that just happen to be on that particular day, that's fine, but they cannot associate themselves with the circus. They cannot say, oh, the circus is coming to town today, stop at my store and get a ham sandwich. They can't use the circus as a reason to be having their fundraising. So I just want to stress that. And so when people reach out, I'm really sad that can't be, but it's just the way the circus operates. So I think we have with our cultures here and the small kids that we have, I think it's a great opportunity, and I don't see any reason why we wouldn't get a good showing at both the shows. But I also intend to market in the surrounding area too.
It's too bad it's on a Saturday.
I know, well, okay, and Ryan is my board chair in Monona, and believe me, we battled all that. We actually got, he's become a friend now because I bugged him for 2 years. But we actually got Dave on the phone, and we tried very hard to swap with another community or find a different date. And wasn't it Ryan? It was adamant, no, this is the date. We come through your community. Either you get on board or,
Yeah, they're gonna miss out on a big opportunity for
our area. I'm
Yeah,
looking
for-
at more of it as, well, for me, a chance to collaborate with Postville. And maybe there down the road, there can be more of that. But I didn't want to have a red mark with the circus. And then 2 years from now, if one of our communities wanted to host them again, then they'd say, there's too much trouble there, There's some trouble. It's just, like Mary said, the date isn't working for our, but we have to go with it or we would have lost the opportunity. And then in 2 years, who knows, So I look at it as a good thing. I look at it as a fun thing for Postville and an easy thing in many respects when you see what they do versus what we have to provide.
Yeah, they seem like they do almost everything. Are there elephants?
I did not ask.
I don't.
I know they have
I don't
food
think
and I know they
there's,
have, and the other thing I would say is, I thought she said it was a circus clown, but don't quote me on that. But somebody comes like a couple days before the circus comes and they help promote around the community. And then they also check out things, the site and where things will be set up. So we can expect that. And again, what Darcy and I know, we'll certainly share with all of you. So I hope it's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's all I have. Thank
All right.
you. And always feel free to ask questions or get a hold of Darcy too. Thank you.
Larry, you got something? Okay. Okay, thanks, Artie.
You're welcome.
She's on the line.
Oh, okay. Crystal. We're gonna Crystal is on the telephone. She's actually on the road somewhere and says stop. And so we're gonna move right into Crystal's presentation, which is item 11. I hope everybody's okay with that, but we got to get her off the road. So, all right. So Crystal, go ahead.
Okay, I'll introduce myself. This is Crystal Duffy. I'm the Postville Public Library Director and the project coordinator for our Postville Community Heart and Soul. It's been a long day. I'm so sorry I wasn't there in person. I planned this trip back in November, not even thinking about, hey, we're finishing Heart and Soul, but I just really wanted to get these action plans to all of you. So can everyone hear me okay?
Oh, yes.
Check in.
Yeah, everything's good. Yep.
Okay. I know that the YouTube people cannot hear very well with speaker, and I know that it can be hard for the audience too. I'll keep it brief. So hopefully you guys all have that action plan in front of you. I have no intention of reading this to you. In fact, what I think would be really cool is for everyone to read it in their own time. If they have questions, see me at the library or save those for the June City Council meeting, and I'd be happy to answer those then. I did want to go through it and just explain what each page. I'm not going to read anything to you. To be clear, this is sort of the culminating document from all of the work that we've been doing with Community Heart and Soul. There's a couple other quick things I'll talk about today with that, and then we're just about done. So your first page is just your table of contents, and then there's an icon key, and you'll see those icons sort of throughout the action plan. Your next page is just a copy of the resolution that you guys signed when we adopted those Heart and Soul statements. The next page, we've got our Heart and Soul core team members and then some other community volunteers who really helped a lot with our process. They may not have been on the team per se, but they helped us. And then a list of organizations that participated in our weekly chat that we have every Wednesday at 2. Some of the organizations were there every week. Some were there wondering, when did we start this? It feels like 5 years ago. It wasn't quite 5 years ago. Next 2 pages, you've got community data. This is really interesting to read through, and hopefully you guys will take the time to go through that. So this is who did we hear from in our surveys and those conversations and interviews that we did. This is not the demographics of what our community is. This is just who we heard from. And remembering through the whole process, we tried really carefully to make sure we were hearing from everybody. So I think we did a pretty good job of that. Next page is our heart and soul statements. We released those several months ago, just sort of a refresher. And then from those heart and soul statements, you'll see those headers, community events, diversity, safety, etc. And the ideas for action came directly from the community saying, okay, we want community events. What does that mean? What are the things we need to do? So your next several pages are the ideas for action for each of those subjects. And so then if you skip to page 14, this is the only page I'm going to go over in a little more detail because this is the one I'm really, really excited about. This is what is already in progress and the community partners who've done the work. So these are things that actually came from our action plan that were either we've sort of gotten started or maybe other entities have gotten started. It's not all directly related to Heart and Soul, but some of it is. So you can see the little icons kind of tell you all the things that connect into, but the farmers market was a big thing that came up in our survey. A welcoming committee has been founded. We have a name for it now, Heart of Postville or Algon de Postville in Spanish. We've got ESL classes coming back this month. City is cleaning up some derelict properties. You guys have been talking about that. That came up a ton. The community is thrilled about that. We've got some sidewalks being redone. Hopefully we're hiring a community developer soon. And we started this newcomer document to sort of help folks get settled in town. And then that last thing, welcoming committee is looking for a location to store clothes and home goods. And I'll chat about that in a second. And then the last page is just contact info. I did my best to put contact info on here that would work. That let's say someone finds this document in a year, you know, Heart and Soul's over, but they still want to get a hold of someone and ask questions. So at the city website, the Hometown of the World Facebook page, and then me at the library. And then my business cards in there if any of you guys want to call or email me or have questions. So that is the action plan. And again, I think questions would be better. Come see me at the library or ask at the next meeting. That way people that are listening or watching on YouTube aren't left out of that conversation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Val, that's coming from Val.
Are people throwing chairs?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So the next thing I wanted to do was invite everyone. While we've been doing this whole big process, we've also been working on a movie, and we've been interviewing folks about our community, and we've been talking about our process. And so we are premiering this movie about Postville June 6th, I believe. Of course, I don't have the calendar in front of me. I'm on it. I'm talking on it, right? June 6th, I believe it should be a Thursday. Thursday evenings should be available for everyone to come. 6 p.m. Taco de Aliyah, the taco truck will be there. We're going to have a popcorn bar. We're going to have a meet and greet with folks that are in the movie, and it's going to be at the Fine Arts Center at the high school. So we just wanted to invite the whole city council and representatives to come to that if you guys are available. It'll probably be a very quick event. The movie's probably, 5 to 8 minutes. Of course, that doesn't sound like much, but that's like, 20 hours of footage that has to be edited and gone through. So we wanted to invite you to that. And then my last thing was presenting just an ask of the city council to see what you guys think about this. One of the things that came up a lot was trying to help our newcomers with getting clothing and home supplies and things like this. And we heard from a lot of the people we interviewed that they felt so welcome when they were here. And they did, in fact, have that happen. Their neighbor would bring them dishes, or someone would bring some of that, or a dresser. A lot of our newcomers to town, don't come with anything. I was a newcomer 2 years ago, but I came with all my stuff. But not everyone has that opportunity. And so we wanted to help our newcomers get settled and feel welcome. And so we were hoping that maybe we could use some of that space upstairs at City Hall to store things. And my vision of it is that the library is the intake. And at the library, we'll probably designate one day a week to take donations, and we will go through all those donations, and anything that we don't think is fit, like it's dirty or whatever, we'll throw it away. It won't ever enter City Hall. And then I, myself, or another member of that welcoming group, the Heart of Postville, can bring those to whatever spaces you see fit and have everything organized. We have tons of boxes from the library. And so this could be kind of like when we did at the library last fall and winter, we did the clothing drive for winter clothes. It could be like that instead of taking up half the library where we don't have space, unfortunately, having a place to store it. The public would not ever be coming to City Hall or to that space. It would always be a representative from the group. And we would also then, once we had sort of organized and gathered things, we could ask for donations. I have contacts in Decorah right now that have carloads full of clothes and things they're ready to donate. We have people in the community that have beds and dishes, and they keep coming to me, and I keep saying, hold on. And then we can make forms in all of the applicable languages available at the library. People already feel safe coming to the library. They can fill out what they need. I take that form. I get the stuff. They either pick it up at the library or one of our team members delivers it. But no one at any point in time is ever in City Hall or the building besides, you know, me or Mary's on that welcoming committee. So people that, you know, hopefully we trust. So that is an idea that I'm presenting to you folks.
Okay.
A lot of information.
Everybody's saying that's a lot of information, Crystal.
I know.
Does she need a building location for this clothing, or do you think the library can handle that? Okay.
They don't have room for it at the library. They want to do it upstairs here.
Well, there's enough room up
Right,
there,
and then
but
we'll have, then it gets sorted, or
She'll sort it and have an inventory of what she has. And so when someone comes to town and they say,
Sure.
she or somebody else on the team could go to this place and pick it up. So
okay.
who's the team?
Have you got a team put together, Crystal?
So we created a welcoming group a couple of months back, and it's got about 20 people on it. We're always welcoming more. We have an official name. We're calling ourselves Heart of Postville. And so we have actual volunteers that are ready, willing, and able to. I don't think it's actually going to be a lot of additional work. I think that what we would do at the library is probably set up one day a week where we take donations. And I would do it the day I'm there. So I'm thinking I might do it on Fridays. So donations only come on Fridays. It's not like we're going to have 500 people lined up trying to give us stuff. And then I vet all that stuff, make sure it's good to go. And then I can take it to City Hall, you know, whenever. But we do have lots of interested folks in helping people that are new to town be welcomed and get supplies that they need. So it's not with me.
and is it just clothing or is it like housewares too and food?
So we're thinking for now clothing and then small home goods like dishes or small things. The rooms that I had saw that made me think of this were there were two really small bedrooms in that first apartment that was like linoleum flooring. They're not very big spaces at all. I have no interest in acquiring a lot of stuff. What I think would be better would be for things to come and go quickly. Like things come in and then they go out. I'm not interested in, creating some massive storeroom, but those rooms are both pretty tiny, pretty small. We have lots of boxes to organize things. And then just start there. And I don't know if you guys know, right now there are a lot of folks outside our community that are actually providing furniture and beds and dressers and things for people in our town. And a lot of those volunteers are aging out and there will not be replacements for them. And so I think we need to start getting more organized about taking care of our own folks. So this is sort of the beginning of that process.
Okay. Any other questions for Crystal?
Does that create, storing that upstairs, does that create a headache for you, Darcy?
I guess my thought is I just don't want to be left with a mess that the city guys are throwing stuff out
Right.
like we have up there now. So I just don't want something to begin and then there it is and that nobody's used it and it's accumulated and then there we are throwing stuff away.
Well, if you guys ever fire me, I promise I'll clear it all out.
What does the library board say? Have they approved it coming into the library and that being part of your duties there?
Well, they were all in supportive when we did the winter clothing drive, but I can certainly present that to them at our May meeting. I think they would be in support of it. A couple of them are in the welcoming committee, so.
So would you bring the recipients here to look through the stuff and pick what they want, or get like a checklist and do it? No, just give it to them.
You would fill out what you need,
Like a size 8
Yeah.
jeans.
and then she'll come down. Someone else on the team. It won't be open to the public.
No, absolutely not.
They're gonna have to have like sectioned off by sizes and boys and girls and all that and boxes.
Yep, that's what all those fun library boxes are for, that we get tons of books in.
Okay. We're gonna talk about this next meeting now?
Yeah. This is information.
Good.
Any other questions? Where you parked at, Crystal?
I'm actually at Walmart in Decorah. Like, I almost would have made it,
Yeah.
but it's just not quite. So,
Okay. All right. Well, at least you're close to home.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I think thanks for the presentation, and we will put this back on then probably next month.
okay, sounds good. Thank you guys.
All right. Thank you.
Okay,
Yep,
bye.
Can I have this is not on Crystal, so this is backing up to the purpose. Are we supposed to act on that this meeting? I mean, if it's August, don't we have to make a decision on it? Or is it a done deal?
It's a done deal.
Oh, okay, well, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was something that had to been done right now. So it was
Okay,
like,
well, I just want to make sure that we,
unless you
Unless
can,
they
you
vote or
can,
something.
you can, I suppose you could, but if you turn it down, I'm going to be really, really mad.
I want the circus to come.
There we go. All right.
She wants elephants.
I don't know. Was there? I don't think any of them got elephants though. I think they outlawed.
We get a cut of the sales.
Yeah, this
I
is,
guess
this
the
is
percentage
money
is different,
making,
different sales amounts and different fractions.
It's a fundraiser, right, Artie?
It is.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was meant to be that from Monona. What I'm, and I haven't run it by my board, but what I've decided is if I can get my down payment back for our chamber, which granted was only $290, but,
That's what we need to do to give you that so that you can,
so reimburse for
Yeah,
the down
for you,
payment.
yeah,
But
yeah.
then any other monies at the end will be, Darcy will be in on that county, and then Postville can do
make
what you
some
want
money.
to with it.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, you're hosting as far as I'm concerned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Got that all hammered out now? Okay. Let's go then to item 9. Val.
To bring you guys up to speed. So Child Care Coalition. Obviously, we've had lots of discussions about childcare. And we have recognized the fact that as a county, we have to put together a child care coalition in order to kind of move this forward. And I'm talking about kind of on the legislative side. So we've got that body that speaks for the county, if you will. But we also have kind of the fundraising side of it, but then we've also got the wage enhancement program. And so all these pieces takes a little bit of doing. And so I'm working with Michelle Barnes at Others Berlin. We have created a list. We have worked with quite a few to try and find out who would be budding advocates for childcare, people that care, right, within the county. But hopefully that those people would be kind of from all over geographically and young, seasoned parents, non-parents. I mean, just trying to get what we can. And easier said than done, because obviously I've been to the city councils too, and I'm just like, so do you have a liaison that would like to come to some meetings? And everybody stands up and says, pick me. So the issue is that if there would be somebody from the city of Postville that this is, you are the cheerleader for childcare and you have a great interest for that, I would invite you to be a part of that. Okay. I know that our first meeting is going to be within like the next 2 weeks. This is really taking some doing to get this all organized. But let's say we don't have that. Then what I would suggest is I would tell Darcy in an email that our next meeting is, and please let your council members know, or maybe other department heads. And if someone would like to be a liaison once in a while, and that person could change out, I guess, that we would have some kind of link. Because what happens is that we all go gangbusters, and then it's like we come in once a year and talk to you guys. And it's hard to get here more than that. So if it is, we get there more than once a year. But if there would be someone as these meetings start, because obviously people that are really interested in like what's happening in the state, if people want to serve in that committee or if they want to be involved with the wage enhancement program, we'd be like, okay, you can do that. But if the city would at least have a liaison that when I send the invitation to Darcy and she sends it out, that maybe somebody once in a while would say, you know what, I'll go sit in on that, see what's going on, and help us report back. Because there aren't a lot of me, and Michelle and I are both trying to get all of this done. And it is a huge piece to the puzzle in regard to making sure that we have people that want to work here, making sure they can go to work here. And so, yes, I'm asking, pleading that when I do that, if somebody would once in a while go, that would be really, really great. And Darcy, if you have someone that is the cheerleader advocate that is going to serve on the coalition, you just send my way. Because we all know that it's important. We all know what we've been through here in Postville. It is key to so many things. So I do want to make sure that our cities are somehow connected in some shape or form. Because all of our daycares that are, registered and licensed, they are receiving WEP dollars. And our larger daycares across the county are receiving WEP dollars. So it's a really super great thing. And of course, everybody's just like, well, how are we going to continue this? I understand that. But I need it to continue as long as I can until the government figures out the next step. Mm-hmm. And just another piece of this, the state of Colorado thinks this WEP program is kind of a cool thing. So now they're talking to Iowa about how did you do that? And they're looking at us as kind of like leaders. Okay, well then we turn around and we look at Michigan because we like what Michigan's doing because they split it into threes, meaning 1/3 by the parent, 1/3 by the employer, and 1/3 by the city. Good, bad, right, wrong, I don't know, but there's different ways to do this. But if you want to stay in the know and realize that, especially here in Postville, you have a lot of young people comparative to some of my other communities, I just think it would be really important. So I'll stop preaching to the choir.
And I will say something. I think it's very important for childcare, but I missed out on your very first recommendation. You said young, but I'm not, so I'll be passing.
No, because I have grandparents serving. I have people from all over, but I know what you mean.
Yeah.
All right.
She was eyeballing me a lot in that conversation.
I know she was ignoring me. She knows I don't.
That is not true. That is not true. Any and all. And believe it or not, like from one of my banks, the person that's coming will be a grandpa to some of the kids that are going to these daycares. So anyone can be interested.
What time of day do you think your meetings will be?
Oh, I think we're going to change them up so we can make it work. I will send you the first one.
All right.
Thank you. Oh, yep.
I have a question here on The coalition will provide, the coalition will provide leadership oriented contributions. The focus will be on long-term planning for a newly formed child care wage enhancement fund. Has that come down through the pipe already? I mean,
We have dollars in the wage enhancement that
we've
was
received money
raised,
already.
right? And then the state matched it and then
Yeah.
they gave it again.
Yeah.
And some of those dollars have to be spent by the end of the ARPA season. And then the other dollars can continue. And there is a rubric that they use to make sure that people are following the guidelines so they can pay those dollars out. And right now that is being handled by Hawk. Howard, Almaquee, Winneshiek, Clayton. It's
I was on that board.
there you go. I
Yeah.
can't think what all it does, but right now they're the people that are looking at this, but they're not quite the ones who are looking to do more on that end.
So this funding for a newly formed child care enhancement fund, that fund is already there.
The fund is already there.
Yeah.
It would be to lengthen it,
Yeah.
or the state steps up.
See, right now, Larry, this is only a Band-Aid. This isn't, it's not.
A lot of people don't think it's sustainable,
It is
but
not
there
without some
are
more help.
Right, it is still going to take more help.
Yeah.
So there is that fundraising side of this piece, which, whether you agree or not, it's a big issue. And so we're just trying to keep it alive. And for some, it is really truly helping. And I will be interested to see how Sunflower does and et cetera, because wages, as we all know, are a big deal.
Sunflower is where?
That's the
Decorah.
new one in Decorah. And they're just starting to
Building
hire.
that new building.
Yeah.
And I don't know where it was. I just seen on the news this morning that there was a sit out or a lockout, whatever, of daycare providers and school system. They just to try to prove the point that this is
Prove the
how
point.
important it is to provide.
I mean, there is
and
no doubt.
sustain.
I mean, other counties are like, oh my gosh, how did you guys get to be a part of that? And so, kudos to Postville Childcare and Christy's passion. There is no doubt about it, and her board. But it has really carried through now for our whole county. And when other people are looking, but it still doesn't necessarily fix it. I mean, we still have to create this coalition, which is probably going to have to become a 501c3, and it's probably, I can just about imagine. So feel free to step up.
Also raised and was matched by the state, all went to Postville. Now, are other child care places in the county saying, we missed the boat?
Yeah,
Some of them are receiving other dollars that were above and beyond.
Okay.
And they understand too that there needs to be more money raised. And so it's been a lot of fun coming to all of the cities and saying, hey, guess what? You say that this is an issue, we're going to still have to raise money. But that rubric that they have, I mean, I don't know if I can go that far into all of that explaining, but if you want to know more, I can definitely show you the dollars.
Not all the cities in the county were on board with this thing. The
No.
wage enhancement thing, were they?
No, because some of our daycares were a little bit like, how does that work? They were very concerned about paying somebody more dollars
Right.
than what they could afford to give. But then they were also like, well, we're not going to miss out either because you need to pay your people to keep them.
Right.
There is nothing easy about this. There's a lot of issues, except that we have the dollars, raised the dollars, had some other dollars could come in to help get us through the crunch, I guess you could say, to keep things alive until, if this was easy to solve, we would have solved it by now. But
Well, it takes money.
it always takes.
It takes money. And then, I take a look at our local one, even to sustain these things, you have to operate 100% capacity, which means now we got to hire more people, which means now there goes some more funds. I mean, that's how this all works. And so it would be really nice if somebody just drop a whole bunch of money in.
When is that?
Yeah.
Well, I guess they feel that's what ARPA did for us to a point. But the thing is it to make it sustainable.
That's a fact.
We still
Yeah.
need more money to come in because
Which-
some of
you
that
bet.
has to be spent though.
Which means, so truly, it comes back to community.
It does.
Yeah.
But if we want to keep our employers and we want to keep our people employed, and you guys are the community out of Almaquee County that truly has got the children and that growth compared to anybody else. No pressure.
Okay, thanks, Val.
Coalition, is that just Alameda County that you are considering on?
For right now. But
Right, thanks. So, okay, let's go on. Our Hermit is not here, so let's go on then to item. That's got something?
No.
Okay. All right. We're gonna go on into item 12 then, the roof bids. And this is the wastewater plant, Chris.
So the roof at the wastewater plant on the three oldest buildings was installed in 1986. It's the original roof. It's a rubber roof with rock ballast to hold it down. Capacity. We went out looking, asking for quotes and proposals, and we received three. We were asking for the best solution for our roof. We received three quotes, two of which were very close, but different styles or different solutions. Allen Roofing is proposing a membrane, which is mechanically attached to the. Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And Erickson, who is actually the lowest cost by a couple thousand, and that is for a rubber membrane, like the one we have now, we're using ballast, but we track a little bit more. Yeah.
So we're really not doing apples and oranges. We're doing
No,
sewer.
we are not. And I'm a sewer guy. I'm not a solution.
That other roof that you have now, you said it's got rock on top of rubber.
Yeah.
So that means that, and it's lasted like 28 years or something like that.
It's done well. I mean, it's been pulling back for quite some time. To this point, it does not leak into the building itself, but it's getting underneath. But it did perform very well.
But now, kind of, neither one of these has what you have now. They're both two different.
I believe the rubber would be.
The rubber, like, oh, that first, not the down.
Chris, I thought Allen's a membrane roof
Yes.
and Erickson's a membrane. So how are they different? I thought I saw this page.
Erickson is.
Just one time out of place.
Erickson.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh. Yeah, I just don't want
It's in there.
Oh, I see there's two different,
And the higher one on that one is would be mechanically.
okay.
Attached.
So why are there two different ones from Erickson?
It would be, the second one is to attach. Right, and using the ballast and the proposing, so and now we have the rock on there that holds it down. And the second quote is for actually, attachment to the membrane.
Two-part adhesive.
Can't hear it.
It's a two-part adhesive. It's called Insta-Stick. And you stick the insulation down into concrete and then glue the membrane to that.
Okay.
So we all the
That should.
all the rockets come off.
And we don't.
We wouldn't have rocket anymore. It's like,
The first bid, the lower bid is with leaving rock on.
yes, sir. Back to one side, you're doing the other. Back at it.
That's your first thing,
Yeah.
doing that.
That's the lower cost one.
Okay, so
This Adams has the proof of insurance that we need as well. But it doesn't say that in the Erickson one.
Did we receive that?
You didn't see anything.
That's available.
Yes, absolutely.
And then there was the rep. Yes.
On this one from Alan, is we have to add all these numbers up.
Yeah, I did, and that's, I put a summary sheet, and that's
Oh,
the.
yeah, that's
number.
on the front, yeah.
Did you subtract the tax off
Yes.
some of this? Okay, so what your summary is the correct amounts. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, let's see, it's not.
Yeah, it didn't.
Same number.
since sales tax.
So it'd be less because of the drug tax on it, yeah.
I think they need to be resubmitted.
Yeah,
I think so too.
And with all the requirements.
Yeah.
So what are the difference between what they're offering versus what?
Yeah, maybe we should. So we've got, there's a few discrepancies here. I wonder, each guy, we got both parties are represented here. Why don't you guys come on up and one at a time and tell us, what you're offering here? Cause we're not roofing people, and tell these guys what's going on. Okay.
So for the two Erickson bins, the cheaper one is to put all the rocks one side, new membrane, and then through the walls, new membrane on the walls. I'm not sure if it has metal on it. If it has metal on the outside edge. So, yeah, new metal all around, and then put the rock back to hold the roof.
The new metal is kind of like a flashing over the top, or right where it bends over
Yes.
to
Coping
the
metal. Yep.
wall.
Yep. The other bid is to remove all the old membrane, pull the insulation up, fence the stick down, new insulation.
And then adhere the membrane to the mechanical fastening.
Does the first one have removal of the insulation and the membrane, all that stuff too?
Just the membrane.
Just the membrane.
We'll reuse the insulation.
Leave the insulation on.
Yep.
Removing the membrane and moving the rock to the side.
Yes.
Okay. In the second phase, there is no removal of membrane. The more expensive one, there's no membrane removal.
Yes, we remove the membrane.
Membrane, insulation, everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we would,
That's why it's so much more.
Yeah.
Because it-
And is that additional cost because of the labor and then also getting rid
Yes.
of the product?
Yes.
So you do the disposal too?
yes,
and so on both of these, we can cross off the tax.
yes, I.
That would be
What's
one
the
for
budget?
the
First
first
total.
total.
Yeah.
Hey, any other questions for the Ericksons?
Hello,
Hello, you tell us who you are, please.
I am Jared Locke with Allen Roofing and Construction. I brought my sales manager Ryan as well. I've got 7, not 8, but if those of you who didn't get samples, they're in there as well.
You can take them over. I'll pass them over.
These are just general pamphlets that show it's got that sample piece in there. But first of all, yeah, thanks for allowing us time to speak because we give you a lot of information, a lot of material for folks who don't deal with roofs every day. So, in general, we install Duralast. It's coined as the world's best roof. It's a PVC membrane. It's 50 mil, which is comparable or
better producing or better productive than the actual 60 mil for rubber. PVC, since it's all PVC membrane, it doesn't have shrinking, it doesn't have stretching, it doesn't need to be glued down. We mechanically fasten everything down. So when it comes to the deck in general, it gets mechanically fastened down. We go up and over the edges, and we include metal edging as well. The metal edging comes from our sister company with Duralast, so it's covered in the warranty as well. So that's all encompassing. One thing to mention is the 15-year warranty that comes with it. It's basically a bumper-to-bumper warranty. Material, workmanship, and so forth from day one till the very last day of that 15th year. It's also upgradable if you choose to do so. We just wrote some notes here. In addition, we're close. We're nearby. We're in Monona. You can get a hold of our office, a brick and mortar building. We've got a secretary Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. You have my cell phone number as well. I've been in contact with Chris throughout the year, answering any questions that may come up. And again, we're 25 years in the business. Been installing Duralast since then. In order to install Duralast, it's not something you can just go to a hardware store or a lumber company or Lowe's or Home Depot to buy it. You have to be selected by a local rep to install it. They train us. They have over 100 technicians throughout the nation that go around or are assigned to different territories, teach us how to install it, teach our crew how to install it. They come to our shop and do live demos, so it's done correctly. They have the engineering backgrounds. They got engineers working on this, testing it, doing different. For example, depending on the height of the building, we've got different wind lifts. We need extra tabs to fasten down along those edges. We need additional fasteners along those edges for that metal cap and so forth. So there's a lot that comes behind it rather than just sending the crew out and installing on that. In addition to that, we've done multiple roofs in town. I believe we did the old, the pump house, the water tower a few years back. It was a while ago. But we've recently been the city and walk on, the Elkie County Courthouse, the city clerk's office up there, various buildings in the area. So we're always in town. If something comes up where, say, if we need to do a new HVAC unit up top of the roof, we can come back the next year, 5 years down the road, just like day one, install it, we clean the membrane up and weld it back down. So when I mentioned that welding, when we install a Duralast roof, it comes custom prefab to your roof. So it comes in different size sheets depending how we break it down for your roof. It's made in the factory, ships to our office, and we take it to the roof. With us hot air welding it, all those seams are done basically 85% less seams than your rubber roof, your actual rubber roof would be. So that means less labor on the roof for the guys, and then less room for human air and so forth. We have our foreman check those as the crew goes along. The salesman, which is me or Ryan, we come and check when the job's nearing done for the end of the day. And we confirm those and make sure they're good to go. When that's all done, when the job's done, the regional tech from Duralast comes and meets with us. We inspect the building one more time. Once that's all done, we're happy with what we see, then the warranty is issued. So again, in our quotes, what we have, it's all three buildings would be the same, very similar. We would remove the rock. We don't have to remove the EPDM, which is the rubber. We would pay attention to those areas that we talked about on the roof where there's some peeling back or stretching back from the rig lift and going to the brick wall on building one. And on the other end of building one, the main building, there's some, basically like you were saying, it's been stretching for the last few years. You can tell, and it's getting into the wood edging where the fascia is, and it's been deteriorating. So we would open up that area, see what needs to be replaced, replace any insulation in that area that we need to be, and then we can go right over top of that with our membrane. Our membrane is actually, when I say mechanically secure, I'll give that sample. Say this is a 50 by 100 sheet. Every 5 feet, there's tabs in it. Okay, and those tabs we fold it back. Those tabs get anchored down, stretched, and so forth, all the way down that roof. So every 5 feet underneath of there, it's mechanically fastened down to that cement roof. Since it is a cement roof, we talked about there's potential spalling that can go on too, but that's because of the variance in the thickness of the cement. However, to kind of alleviate from that, and because it's labor intensive to drill every single hole for mechanically fastened, we do a system that's called induction system, where underneath of that we use a metal plate instead of a plastic washer plate, and that metal plate goes underneath there. Then we use our induction machine, and that hot air welds that underneath on the bottom side to secure it down to the roof. There's no adhesive whatsoever with this membrane. Just to add to the membrane, your active layer is 28 mil thickness above the actual middle, which is the scrim in the middle. That kind of what you can see that texture. It's a waterproof polyester scrim inside there, and the whatever's left below is also PVC as well. So it's basically 100% PVC aside from that scrim that's inside there, which gives its flexibility, its durability, and so forth. So just to give a little demo, say if you do have a cut, go ahead and try to tear that apart in there. You see how hard he's tearing. So imagine 1,000 pieces of rubber. 1,000 pieces of rubber, it's sliced right in half. And that's the big difference when it comes to PVC versus rubber membrane. And we can come back, say that happened. Say we're talking about freak events, derechos, tornadoes. Something lands on that roof and cuts it. We can come back just like day one, clean it up, cut a piece that fits it, and weld right over it. It's good to go. So, any questions? Again, it's a lot of information. It's a different process that folks aren't really used to hearing about, but again, it's kind of what's leading in the industry right now when it comes to flat roof.
What's your lead time for construction?
Right now, we're into the middle of summer. But there's, it kind of depends on the weather for one. We all know that. This job, if you did one roof, if you did 2 roofs, you did 3 roofs, it kind of depends on how much needs to be done. We like to say we're 2-3 months out. Things can change and things can be put behind and so forth. So I just, what I did include just some pictures of your current roof, since maybe none of you haven't been up there. You just pass these around. They're labeled. Building 1 is the entire of the main building. It's got 3 different tiers. So there's, in the quote, you'll see building 1, building 1A, and so forth. See in building 3 how it's kind of tearing away, and you've got some rot going on there that needs to be addressed. 2, and then building 3. I'm gonna show you here. Here's where it's tearing back from that wall. It's kind of starting to pull away. This is building 1. Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's kind of tearing away from that brick wall. And that's what rubber does. Over time, it'll stretch away at the corners of one of your curbs. It starts to stretch and tear. Those can be patched, yes, but how long, you're going to deal with that?
Chris, how old is the existing roof?
1986.
Served its time.
You have a 15-year warranty?
It's a 15-year warranty, and again, it's basically bumper to bumper. One cool thing about the warranty is that we have a consequential damage part to it, where if it's because of the material, because of the workmanship, it's covered. Damages, like say underneath, it damages something important in the water treatment facility. It's coverable up to $2 million. And that's, again, from day one to the very last day. Questions for me?
Do we have damage on the insides of the building due to the existing roof yet?
No, not on the inside of the building. There's one spot, if we get a strong southeast wind, it'll be a little bit of the so most everything on the inside. That outside facade
Yeah, what you've got is basically 2x4 fascia underneath that metal cover, and then as well as kind of 2x4 frame for your metal panel fascia walls. That's kind of the design of the building.
And is that current situation, is that rock supposed to be taken off and that rubber cleaned once in a while, or is it just once it's up there, leave it alone until it?
Well, the reason rock is on a rubber roof is to hold it down because the adhesive basically gets on.
But I mean, is it typical? Should you clean it so it doesn't build up with dirt and debris?
No, you don't have to.
Okay.
The rock's out there to hold the rubber
Just-
down.
Okay.
There's no adhesive under that.
Okay.
There never was. The baluster is designed just for weight.
Does the disposal or the trucking of the rock?
So that's one thing I wanted to mention too, and we've worked with, for example, last year we worked with the city of Ridgeway over in Wisconsin, near Madison or Dodgeville. Since it's with the city, they've got equipment to use. We worked with them, and they had a dump truck there. Our guys put it in, they hauled it away, and did what they wanted with it. So there's things we can work with beyond that. We've got equipment as well. We're nearby. If it's something that it's not feasible for the city to help out at that time, we've got equipment, dump trucks, dumpsters as well to take care of that.
How much around is that at today's?
Well, it'd be,
What kind of cost is
we'd have to look at that. I mean, it'd be trucking fee and so forth. If we went that route for trucking it.
Okay.
And then obviously the length of
Okay.
how far away we're trucking it. But it is river rock. People use it in their flower beds. So we did it last year for the city of, actually the VMH hospital. They just put it into a stockpile. I think they gave it away after that. I don't know what they did with it.
How long is the warranty on the rubber roof?
There's not one.
No, okay. Fastening here is it's not fastened down by shooting nails into the concrete. It's fastened down by
Drilling.
you drilling concrete.
Drilling screws down into the concrete.
Okay. Yeah, not nails. Yeah. Okay. And those screws are placed how far apart?
Well, if we do the induction, it'll be on a grid system. So what, about a foot apart, right?
Induction. What's that?
So the
That's
induction,
not screwing.
yes, screwing will happen either way. But if we decide to go induction, just because it's less labor, we don't have to put as many down and pre-drilling through the cement.
Like a shot, and inject,
What the actual induction is a equipment. It does what's the big word?
It basically welds the material to the plate rather than using hot air. It uses electricity. So it melts the membrane right to the plate, specifically in that one location.
the plate is fastened to the roof. How?
With a screw.
With a screw. Okay.
You pre-drill the hole with the screw in a concrete screw that holds the plate. And that's what we're
What's the size of that plate then?
3 inches.
3 by 3 or?
It's 3 inches.
Oh, it's a round. Okay.
Okay.
Diameter. And how deep is that lag?
Here's kind of
What's that?
How deep is that
this is
lagged
the
in?
induction machine.
Usually
These are
at
the
least the
magnets.
minimum of them up at the edge.
So
So usually an inch and a half to 2,
Basically,
depending on how
it charges on here. We set it on the deck. Seconds, 5-10 seconds is welded to it. Down the line.
So that's welding the membrane to the plate.
Yes.
And the plate is screwed in.
And again, on that, all of that too, those welds get weld checked. All the seams get weld checks. All the parapets, all the corners, all the curbs, they all get weld checked to confirm that it was done right. And if not, we go back and weld it some more.
Once it's installed, anything?
Basically, it's very minimal maintenance. Basically TLC, if somebody's gonna be walking up there, if you got an HVAC guy going up there, make sure, he's not dropping tools on it. He can walk on it with, any type of boot, it's fine. It can tolerate, chemicals and so forth. It's used in a lot of chain restaurants because, you know, of their exhaust fans and so forth. But there really is no maintenance that needs to be done. If, for say, you've got, you know, just like any roof though, if you've got like a corner that's getting built up with, you know, what we call the corn dust and it's starting to grow weeds, you know, it's not a bad idea to get rid of that because it's going to hold up water and cool up.
But on hot days, those, if you did have an HVAC person or whatever reason to be up there, it's not gonna smudge off those welds.
No.
Those welds are welded at like between 9 and 1100 degrees.
So it doesn't, I mean, on a hot day too, it's not gonna give any stretch.
No. The one thing here, we'll need is sunglasses because you black.
Yeah.
Very reflective.
And does it have its own, I mean, what is that roof? Does that pitch its own so for drainage?
All those roofs are the same. They all drain to the middle. Okay. They're all designed to taper towards the drains that are set up in the roof. And that wouldn't change with the install.
So I've never had reason to be up there. So.
Does your bid have the tax come off your bid?
Yes.
Too? So it could be the same 6 to 7%.
Ours already has the tax on.
Yours already has.
Yes, it's on.
That's
I'm
without
sorry.
tax.
Right,
Yes.
taxes on.
Is there a lot of stuff up on that roof?
No.
No.
Our HVAC is all
Yeah, they
on
look
the
pretty,
side. There's really
pretty
no-
clean.
And in fact, the garage has just a drain. What I call the garage, the one down below, maybe 2 vents, and the busy roof is the one on the south, I believe, off your shop.
Yeah, there is one. There's an old generator that hot temp in there, which it's no longer used. That generator is now on the side.
All right. Folks ready to decide?
What to decide tonight?
I like the idea of a warranty with it, and you know, cleaning all that stuff. Like rubber roofs have had their day, so it's time to try something different. I personally would have put steel over it.
We did discuss that. And it was,
I think that this rubber roof lasted like 38 years.
we don't.
How much more was it? 100,000.
Yeah, we had discussed it. It was significant. Yeah, and it would have been.
I'm saying that rubber roof lasted like 38 years, and there's a $1,000 difference between.
So
8,038.
$8,006.
Both bids have repairing that wooden, or the wooden pieces around the perimeter for that overhang.
Yes.
Did yours?
Ours would be basically timing materials. Once you open it up, it's hard to say how much is rotten.
Yours the entire thing or just damage? The whole perimeter of the building?
Yeah, whatever damage, yeah.
Just damage?
Yeah, just damage.
Okay.
I think that
Is it spotty?
It's like most of the projects we do, you really don't know.
Right.
You
Yeah,
guys
they
are
tear
out
that
of
flashing
Postville?
off, you won't know.
They're out of Postville.
You know who installed it last time? You know, was that a local?
My, I have no idea.
Is that when the building was put up?
Yeah, so it would have been under the general contractor, and I'm sure they probably used it sometime before, and I can't remember.
I just didn't know if it was someone. Didn't.
Recommendation.
Yeah, I guess I like the warranty as well. That's, yeah, gives you at least 15 years. Yeah. I think when it comes to, I think whenever we do a project, we're gonna find something under there. Unique that might surprise us. So I realize that there's probably gonna be extra. Yeah, I guess the warranty to me would be a little bit of piece of money.
The warranty is on yours. No warranty at all?
No.
None at all.
Is it like Tommy Boy?
And I have to say, that's concerning to me as well. I mean, with anything you buy, when you stick that kind of money into it, and us, you know, we're spending taxpayers' money. We got to be a little protective. It might be lesser, but no warranty, it might be more.
Guess for Alan, do you have any? How long has these Duralast roofs been being done, and how long have they lasted so far?
So Duralast has been in business for 42 or 43 years now.
No.
The oldest roof that I personally know about is in Waterloo right now. That is 36 years old and still performing. We have been doing Duralast for 24 years, over 25 years.
Because the product has got some warranty, or got some track record come behind it, you know, versus, you know, rubber 38 years.
You may have heard that church up in Decorah that got vandalized last year with some of their riots or people protests, whatever you want to call them. That's their last roof, and that's pushing 30 years, isn't it? Okay. So around 20 plus, but we were able to go up there and repair it like day one. You know, so gouges were put in it, and we cleaned, patched, and covered up. Whereas, a little bit different material roof, a different membrane, it's covered and patched.
Chris over with Colorado, we've done some of their work too, so if you want to be independent.
Well, I guess I like the idea of the warranty. I like I guess I like that. Good move if we accept the bid from Allen Roofing with the Duralast roof.
Motion, is there a second? Mary? All right. Now we're gonna get any more discussion?
Yeah, the rocks gotta all come off, right?
All them away.
Or stockpile them.
Or stock, we can coordinate.
I think whichever decided. Most likely.
You have a rate for your time materials for damage of the other of the wood and stuff, or do you have? And you guys fix it yourselves, or do you have to hire someone out?
We would fix it ourselves, $65 a man hour.
Okay.
So, for what's there right now, you're maybe talking a couple $100, assuming it's just small.
Based on what you've seen, anyway.
It doesn't seem significant, but like I said, like Chris said, anytime you open something up, things come up, but it looks like it's mostly that picture that I showed you, where it's pulled away, where it's been taken on water.
So so if you have to haul the rock away, that would be extra.
You shouldn't have to haul it. You have a facility that. And that has to be, does that stuff all have that wood material around the outside that has to be pulled away to put your material down though?
So what we do is we take the current metal edging off.
Yep.
And that just is disposed of, and we go over the edges and put a metal edge on.
You go over that wood. Okay. So then it's dually protected.
Unless it's damaged, then they have to replace
Yeah,
the wood,
yep,
right?
yep. But
And that
it's
would be-
green treated anyway, and then it's protected by the membrane too.
Okay, any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. everybody. Thanks, Erickson's, for
Yeah, thank you,
turning in a bid. Oh, where are we? 13. All right, let's move on to item 13, a 28E agreement with Almaquee County Treasurer for parking citations. This is just to review.
Yeah.
Tell us what that's about, you guys.
I forgot.
All right. So we've been having some difficulty collecting parking citations, and the city attorney recommended we do a 28E with the county for the treasurer to collect those fines, and it would be for local Almaquee County, not out of state. And she would withhold their vehicle registration until the fine is paid. So she currently does it for the city of Waukon. We had a phone conversation with her, and she had recommended that we put what we charge for citations into the agreement so that they know what they're charging. They would keep, so they would charge our 25, and then you pay 30, and they would keep $5 and send us our share. So I think the agreement originally said that we would pay them, but she said they would collect and just send us our share, which is normally how it's done anyway. So it has to go before the supervisors. So tonight you're just reviewing it. If you have any comments, concerns, questions, before we actually pass it. And I think the county attorney is still reviewing it too, so we haven't heard back.
So instead of, like it is now, instead of 20, it'd be 25. And then the second one, if they didn't pay it within 30 days, it'd go up to 30.
No, it's 20. Then it's
Well, the county would charge
Yeah.
$5.
be so right now the city stands as 20 after the 3 days, if not paid. Then I'd always wait a month and turn them into the city
Well,
attorney.
that's when it goes up to 100, it says.
No, it would go up to 25. I think.
That's it. I mean, it says here, as this is how it is. The city of Postville, the fines under the section are as follows: $20 for all violations, 25 if not paid within 30 days.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So then
The county would get 30. They would get $5, and we'd get 25.
Oh, okay.
yeah, so the county's going to add a $5.
They're going to
fee
add a $5 service fee,
Yeah.
basically.
to collect.
Is that straight away or is
Yep. As soon as we send them over, it's kind of like your property tax that doesn't get paid. They add their fees. So if you go to pay your ticket because you didn't pay it here after 30 days, we send you to the county to pay. Then you're paying the extra money because they collect their
But
fees.
let's say for, and I'm getting all confused now because we have $20 for the parking ticket, right?
Yeah, it's $20
Okay,
parking.
and then 25 would be added on to it if they didn't pay it within.
$5.
It just goes
$5.
Okay. So then that's $25.
Right.
And then this county would get it, and we get 20, and they get 5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was kind of confused, sorry.
Is this a big issue? I mean, do we get a lot of unpaid parking tickets?
We get a lot, but the problem is it's vehicles out of state,
Oh.
which we know that they live here in town,
Yeah.
but that's the problem, and that's
So then
but
when
they can't collect off of that. They can't send it to say the state of
So do they
Wisconsin.
lose that person have to register in the state of Iowa? Or it's going to show up on the license plate that they have.
Yes, you're
There's a
supposed to.
sticker,
You're
you think?
supposed to within 3 months
Right.
register your vehicle in Iowa.
So
But
we enforce that.
because you don't have anything else to do.
Well,
I know.
well, it's been discussed. We're trying the DOT, Iowa DOT is trying to figure out how to fix that problem. 10 years ago, it used to be a problem when all you could see was Des Moines County plates.
Couldn't see what it.
And they fixed that problem. So now they're going across state lines.
So it has to say, you have to be able to read the state, right? Iowa.
No,
Because in North Carolina, it's a law against the law if you can't read the state.
no, and for Iowa, it's if you're a resident of Iowa, you got to have registered vehicles in Iowa, and it's 3 months if you move. The issue is a lot of them are going out of state, getting their registration to their vehicles. A, it's cheaper, and I don't want to say it, but B, it's a lot of no DLs.
No what?
Driver's
Yeah,
license.
okay.
Yeah.
So
And
I know a car. I can tell you who it belongs to and where they live. California plates expired in 2021. Can't do anything about it.
If it's moving, we can. You got to be moving. It can't be parked there.
It's a moving violation.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be moving. We got to have.
You can't.
I can't
Even,
come on their
if it
property.
was Iowa and it said 21, you could do something about it. No, because it's
It would be well. If it's parked, are you talking parked like in the
parked in their driveway.
Yeah, no, I mean, 21, yeah, then we'd send out the registration, consider this as a junk vehicle. Then you have to get it up to date registration. We could do the same thing with the California plate too, but for us to do something to make that traffic stop, they got to be moving.
They have
So
have
I
a
have to
moving
keep
traffic
my eye
violation
open when I see
Right.
them on the road.
in
I
order to
can
get this
call.
registration thing.
So
Why don't you have the speed camera fixed, find it?
it won't pick it up.
Huh?
It won't pick it up. So now with our traffic stops on out of state plates, we have been advising these individuals that they need to get their plates registered in Iowa. It's the best we can do.
Now their driver's license, like let's say I'm just asking if you stop somebody with Illinois plates and they have an Iowa driver's license,
Mm-hmm.
then that's against the law.
Mm-hmm.
That what? It's against the law?
Well, see,
If you're not here, if you're here for more than 30 days.
right. Right.
Like let's say they're going to college at Calmer and so they,
No, they're legal. If they're going to school, they're legal.
I know,
If,
but I mean outside of that, then
if they're going to school, they're still considered, they'd be considered residents of
Part-time.
Iowa
Yeah,
because they're going to college, so
Yeah.
it's legal. But
Well, they have
that's
no driver-
besides
So
the point.
back to
Yeah.
the
Yeah, go back to
Kind
the
of go
part.
back to what we're talking about.
yeah, sorry about that.
So any other comments or questions? Otherwise, we'll pass it on
Yeah.
to
I
the
have-
supervisors.
Do you need a motion that we
I don't
accept
need
this?
anything
No.
yet because we need to hear
'Cause
back from the
the
county
attorney
attorney.
and-
Supervisors, the
I just
county
wanted
attorney.
to make you aware of it.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
All right. Okay, so that's the end of that one. Let's go to 14, then the 2080 agreement with childcare.
So I drafted this based on the contribution that you're wanting to make. Actually, the city attorney drafted it, I should say. And we had talked about it going for wage enhancement. I wanted to make sure that everybody was in agreement with that before I send it over to the child care board. Is that what we had intended it? Okay, so you don't have any issues with it. We'll get
No, I
it sent
think
over
that's-
for their board to review.
Did we know that we were gonna be on the hook for 52?
Yes.
That's what you give them
voted.
that.
We are.
That's what we give them?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. It's been a while.
Yeah,
Can't remember it all.
We get the YMCA the same amount.
Okay, so you're good with that? I'll send it over to their board.
Yep.
And then once we get it back, then you'll review it and
Need to go or
approve it.
anything?
Not
Nope.
yet, no.
What did you see? Executive.
No, nothing executive here. No, sir. This was just, Darcy wanted to make sure this is where you were still coming from because this is what you said you were gonna do.
Right,
Yes,
So, yeah.
exactly.
before I send it to their
Yep.
board. Yeah.
All right, let's go on then to item 15, ordinance number 696-24, an ordinance adding new chapter 124, mobile food vendors to the Postville, Iowa Code of Ordinances.
So you had looked at this once before. It's been a while ago and you did nothing. And we've been getting lots of calls for food trucks wanting to come into this town. And right now we enforce what we call our solicitor's license, which does not look at any food permitting, any of that.
Any food what?
permits any of that. That chapter doesn't make us look for any of those things.
No food inspection.
Right, we don't look at that stuff, not with, under our peddlers. So it's my recommendation that you think about an actual mobile food vendor code so that we know how to enforce and what we're looking for when these trucks want to come to this town.
That's a good idea.
It's getting to be
How many-
so
how many
popular.
local food trucks do we have? Two.
Yes,
I
two.
think.
That
Mine
have-
Green.
3.
There's 2 trucks.
Legion, Martinez,
Ooh.
the Legion.
Oh, well, yeah, they don't, but they're not ones that have come and
The who?
talked to
The
us.
Legion.
The Legion. I see they're parked up here now.
The mobile.
Yeah, it's not the Legion, it's the,
No,
it's
the
the
Lions.
Lions.
Yeah.
Lions.
So, yeah, because they don't move, they just stay parked at that one spot, don't they? Or now
You
it's
see
up
that,
here.
they're up here now at
They're up here
the
now.
Herald office.
Because of the construction.
Okay.
So,
We already reviewed this a while ago, right? And made changes. And
There's a lot of exceptions too.
I mean,
That's why I gave it a number.
I mean, this isn't just review, right?
Right, no.
Action, we can take action
You
on
can take
this.
action if you
I see
choose.
sometimes by the Dollar General food truck, they have like those little tables and chairs sitting out there, but then they wouldn't be able to. According to number 3.
Right, no.
In number 3, talked about tobacco, liquor, beer, wine. Do we need to throw vaping in there? Or put the word? However they name that.
Yeah. Matt says tobacco is the same as vaping.
Oh, it is?
I thought that was the tobacco alternative.
because what's the question? What's the code?
It's the, right there.
The sale of tobacco, liquor, beer, or wine is strictly prohibited.
Out of a truck, you mean?
No, you can't sell it. Like vaping liquids or whatever they put in there.
Well, they would all fall in. This is actually should have an age requirement on it too. Because 21 is the actual legal age for all vapes, tobacco, and state of Iowa.
But that's the law, so do we really need to have it in there?
It's prohibited anyway. They can't do it.
Right. Well,
This is just saying a mobile food vendor can only sell food and non-alcoholic beverages.
Yeah.
And then that these other things are prohibited, they can't sell them, so
Right.
they don't need to
Right,
have an
so-
age because they're not supposed to be having it anyway.
right.
Okay, well then, number 13. Oh, sorry. And number 13, when the wellness center has things, they come up and park by that. Is that considered school ground?
Yes, because it is the school's property.
So they can't do that anymore?
Well, it says here, no food
Unless they've been
is allowed
invited.
on the grounds
Oh,
of the school unless
So
they're
if they have
invited to be
permission,
there.
if
Yeah.
they have permission, they've been invited, they
Okay.
can, they're covered.
And then we just hope they don't sell vaping stuff. Is that what we're about? So is the Lions Club one officially a food truck? Or-
Well, I would think so.
You can't drive it. You have to pull it, right?
Just
Right.
So that would be,
Yeah.
Well, all the rest of them are full.
don't you drive inside of them?
They're trailers.
Or are they?
Yeah.
I guess I never looked that close.
Now, what about,
The green truck, sometimes when it's over by where Artie Day's office across from Dollar General, I've seen them with the table and chairs out there, and that's prohibited now too.
you haven't passed this yet?
I mean, but yeah, I meant it will be.
Yes, yeah.
Did, well, if there's some things in there you don't like, throw them out.
I was just glad that we see number 1. I gotta get my food inspectors involved.
Yeah. And I mean, if there's some of these bullet points here that you don't like, maybe we need to put this again.
Yeah, we can put it
You,
back
you
on
guys
this.
take it home, cross things off, and then we covered quite a bit tonight. So
Yeah,
maybe
so
why don't you
I'll
just
change tobacco to nicotine, right?
Yeah.
That'll cover it.
Yeah.
And then what do you want it done with number 20? You want to allow them to sit down and eat?
It's unless it has to be invited, so we invite them to come to the. Well,
Then it's considered.
oh, I was
an
in this.
establishment.
Right.
It's not a.
Right.
Because we went over this last
Yeah.
time. and That's how we sent back the evidence.
Oh, I see.
Because I think then it's not considered like a mobile food truck if you're giving people a place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they could be sitting down at a restaurant instead of at the truck, and I understand that too.
Did we or did we not also discuss about having a requirement like a mobile hand, not a hand wash station, but at least a mobile, like a sanitizer, hand sanitizer or something?
Well, the workers wouldn't be able to get their.
I'm not worried about the it's
Well,
the
the people that
people.
go through drive-through don't have to wash their hands.
This isn't a, you know, but
I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if but never mind.
You have hand sanitizer.
Never mind.
They have, well, some of them have their, just the pumps right on the, where you order, they have the hand sanitizer where you can. If you
Sure.
have it there.
It's there.
It's not mandatory, it's just optional, but some of some of the food code stuff was leaning that way. I'll just let the food inspector deal with it.
Next month then.
Well, I think it looks like there's just lots of indecision here yet, and you surely don't want to pass something that you're not truly in favor of.
So we'll review it.
Go review it, and then you mark things off, and we'll discuss that.
Well, is that gonna take too much time? I mean, by the time we do this in June and then.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
awesome.
Your season's gonna come.
No,
and go.
sometimes taking a little more time is okay.
Well, okay.
Yeah, because you're
And
gonna
this
pass
farmer's
something you don't
market's
want to pass. So.
July.
July.
5th or something like that.
Will you be ready at June, you think, with all your questions? And
Take it
you'll
home
call me?
next month.
Yeah.
So you could pass it next month?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
good with that.
I'm good with it tonight. I'm good with
Yeah.
it tonight.
I
What aren't we good with?
don't have any discrepancies of anything myself.
I thought I was hearing all kinds, but
Other
okay.
than
We're
how it's
just
gonna
discussing
change
things that
tobacco to
we're-
nicotine, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we do.
Right.
Okay, then
No problem. So
somebody-
I think that's it.
let's have a
I
motion.
move that we pass ordinance 696-24.
I'll second.
Just okay. Roll call.
Moore,
No.
Mar,
Yes.
Moody,
Yes.
Ingstrom,
Yes.
Engelhardt.
Yes.
Okay.
Can we ask you, Larry, what?
I should have more time. So we're having a massive leg cramp here.
Okay, so do you want it to go to a second reading next month or do you want to wait?
I think we should go for a second reading since we had a.
Okay.
a-
All right, so we'll have it at the next meeting then for a second reading.
That's my opinion.
Nobody else said anything? So we'll do it. Okay. Should we go on?
Yes, please.
All right, let's go on then to item 16, public hearing adoption for 1431-24, a resolution in support of USDA Rural Development Grant application of the city of Postville and the city of police department.
Speaker.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, so we have submitted an application to the USDA for a grant to help purchase a police K-9 vehicle with equipment install. The total project cost is $88,400, and the city is asking for $48,600 worth of assistance, leaving the local share of $39,800. Part of the requirement to the USDA is a public hearing or a public meeting to inform the public and get any comments or questions in regards to our project. So I don't know if you want to open the hearing.
Oh, yes, I will open the public hearing.
Brought up last meeting.
Yep.
You're
You
gonna
set the
apply for it?
hearing. Mhm.
Right.
You set the public hearing for tonight, yeah.
Any comments?
I think it's a good idea to do it. Why, we can't look a $48,600 gift in it.
I move to adopt resolution 1431-24.
Second.
Moore,
Yes.
Mar,
Yes.
Moody,
Yes.
Ingstrom,
Yes.
Engelhardt.
Yes.
All right, there we go.
And good job finding that grant. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, but she's kind of a hawk at that. She finds them.
When I found it, she did the legwork.
Yeah.
I just said you, I didn't say who.
Y'all.
Okay, let's go on into item 18, key fob bids. And this has to do with,
Yeah, well,
Did we mix that up?
We missed
So
one.
we're not gonna have the public hearing go.
17.
yeah, 17 we missed.
17.
oh, I'm sorry. That's why you guys are here. Public hearing, budget amendment number 3, resolution 1433-24, a resolution adopting amendment number 3.
Budget amendment number 3, we are putting in there the cashing of the CDs to write the check to the fire department. I cashed out those CDs earlier this month. I believe they were a little over 63,000. And so I added that expenditure in so that we can write that check out. I did make a couple of modifications since I was doing a third amendment here. Originally, I thought that we would borrow for our water line project. However, when I talked with our financial advisor, and I'll give you this information at your next meeting when you talk about your water rates, she said we're looking good, that we, with the deal with the Iowa DOT, that we have enough cash on hand to be able to make those payments.
Yeah.
So I took out that financing. So that's kind of the negative numbers you see in the revenue. So I just made a few modifications with that. So overall, like I said, total in and out, that we basically are amending for that CD's expenditures. So that check will be written out tomorrow. I think I saw it in. Open the public
Sure,
hearing.
open the public hearing. Any comments? We kind of talked about that last month, about where that was all going to. Okay, then I'll go ahead and close the public hearing.
I move we pass.
Second.
You're ready, Darcy.
Moore,
Yes.
Mar,
Yes.
Moody,
Yes.
Ingstrom,
Yes.
Engelhardt.
Yes.
Next.
Can I just suggest we let him do
Yes,
his
please.
thing?
Housing inspector fees, number 20.
You're gonna screw me up again.
Yeah.
All right.
I was saying he's sitting here in his own meeting.
Poor Dave.
That's just a thought. I don't care what it is. At this point, it's probably.
I thought about it a long time ago. I just spoke up.
Well, let's go on.
And invite me. It's been what, about 5 years or thereabouts that I've been doing the city inspections of the rental properties. And I've decided that it's probably time I should increase my rates. I sent Darcy an email. I hope you guys got all that. Pretty self-explanatory.
I'm sure you've seen some stuff.
Property owner right there.
What's that?
I said, I'm sure you've seen some stuff.
Yeah. The inspection rates, are they passed on to the property owner? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What's that?
Isn't the city charging an administrative fee?
Yeah, so the way the code reads is the city charges $50 and then the cost of the inspection. So whatever Dave bills me plus $50.
So they would have to pay that.
Yeah, we bill it out after
Yeah,
the
okay.
inspects, yeah. And if they
Well,
don't pay, we
the thing
assess.
is the last inspection I did on Maple Street, It took me over 2.5 hours just to do the inspection. Then I still had to do the finish, finish up the report. And then I took over about 100 pictures and transferred them to a USB stick so I could give them to Darcy so she has a copy of it.
Yep.
So it ain't like I'm making it a lot of hours.
2019. So you're
Does a new agreement have to be signed then as well?
Probably will have them sign it as well.
Put a new contract together
Yeah.
with new fees installed.
yeah, I think that's a good idea.
The one thing I didn't include on that I was thinking about tonight while I was sitting there twiddling my thumbs, like the apartment houses, I didn't include them. With them, I charged last time 25 and the unit. Sounds right.
You're happy with that?
I probably increased that to 30, and then the re-inspections, half of that would be 15.
So is that something needs to be added to the contract?
What's that?
That language needs to be added to a contract?
That's up to you
Yeah,
guys.
probably, yes.
Apartment unit, $30 per unit.
Is that
Is that
Just-
enough?
the big 12-plex apartments or any apartment?
Just
They're
one
all
part,
apartments,
each
you know?
apartment,
No,
right?
that would be just the multi-family, the
The multifamily.
Multifamily apartments.
And that would be per apartment. If you had to do 3, that'd be $90.
3 apartments, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So what did you say reinspection would be? You
But
said,
usually it's a full building.
right, so you said 30 for the inspection. How much is the reinspection on a multifamily?
15.
15.
So if you had 7 apartments in a house, it'd be 30 times 7.
No, I've been treating that as a or actually no, like if it was, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, let's say you have a house that
Well,
is
See, I
to
just
7
did one.
apartments.
I just did one up on Tilden, up there by.
Yeah, that free,
And that was I charged each one of them as a separate,
Mhm.
like a house and a house.
Mhm.
There was 2 stories.
Yeah.
The 30 of that's just the ones out of Pennsylvania or
State
street
Street.
apartments.
Yeah.
Those are the ones I'm talking. When I go in there, I normally do the whole house or the whole building,
Right.
which would be 12.
12 units.
So there's a house that's gonna be like 7 apartments a here, so then how would you handle that one?
By apartment.
I hope to help. It's 7. I'd have to think about that. I really
No
don't know.
way.
That would be 7?
Can't be. There's not enough parking.
Yeah, when is that gonna
Might
go
already be
through?
done.
Oh, you were in that. She was talking 211 South Maple. You were in that.
Funeral home.
That was on Maple.
Yeah, there
You
could be
wanted
7
to do
apartments.
4.
Yeah, but
Well,
has that
then would you
gone
treat
through?
it as 4
Well,
apartments?
first of all, I would be totally against that because that house is it's not feasible.
Nor parking.
Not for 4.
Does that have to go through zoning?
Yes.
Okay.
They haven't got that far yet? Okay.
So you have wild think about it, dude. So 150 for initial, re-inspection 75, special 200. And the apartment per unit $30 and re-inspect is 15. Now,
So the 30 and the 15, that's just like the 12 plexes you might call it.
individual apartment.
Yeah.
That's like there's a big,
Like the
Doesn't run or multi-
3-story.
right, yeah.
We don't have anything in town over 3 stories.
Okay.
How much would be covered when you get these houses that have been made into multi-apartments, so that you got some idea where you're coming from on that.
So do we have to? Yeah, and then draft the new contract for Dave to sign. And the whole activity with that.
And this would this be as of when the end of this his year, or does it start right away?
That's up to
No,
you.
it says 23rd of July.
That was 2019. I think it did.
Oh, so
Yeah, we're gonna get a contract to the attorney and start that at the next council meeting.
So we need to approve
start
this,
now.
right?
Yes, we need a motion on this.
So moved.
Oh.
You moved to
Mayor.
increase the building inspection rates with the language of the $30 per apartment,
Yeah.
$50 for inspection of apartment. I'll second that. You want to
Discussion.
say what the effective date is?
Effective
Be now.
after we approve the,
If it can sign.
when the
So, yeah.
contract signs.
Contract signed, okay.
Works for me.
Everybody happy with that?
Alright.
All those in favor say aye.
Alright.
Those say no.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Dave.
I have no idea where we're at.
Okay, now you
Now you go back to 18.
gotta back to
Key fobs,
18
all right.
now.
Okay.
Let's see, what, 18.
The only audience we had? Now what are you
Yeah, I
gonna do?
know. We should have got rid of them all.
I'm gonna start dropping like flies here pretty quick.
I got a what?
You got public online.
Oh, yeah.
All right, key fob bids. So our door fobs, there's one on the front door in the police door. And it was originally installed by Indicom. And the police door does not activate anymore. It's broken. And it's no longer in business. So we have been trying to figure out how to get these door key fobs repaired. And I originally got a quote for a little over 20,000. I didn't even give you that. And then I had a company out of Rochester that someone had recommended to me, so we got their proposal. And then Casey Marr gave us a proposal. And in his proposal, he's proposing that he could use the existing wiring, which is a savings. So, I don't know, Matt, you've been struggling because you need to be able to use those fobs more so in the police than probably the front door. It's more critical for law enforcement to be able to have an easier access into the. So, well, I guess I'm requesting you to approve the low bid.
I approve the low bid.
Is that Wire Pro?
Yes.
Second,
Somebody second it? I'll second it.
further discussion. Not all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no.
Just a heads up on that door for the PD. It has not been locking behind us at all either lately. It has been going on for about 2.5 months now. Normally it'll lock in when you leave. Lately when you're coming back and the door's half open, not even locked. And someone
Is
key
that
lock it?
even after Roger was here?
yeah, it's doing it again. It's something up above with the spring on the arm. It's pressurized and it's not getting enough momentum to keep pushing it forward.
Get a bigger spring.
It's not spring loaded. It's
It's kind of like
up there, but you can get a somehow adjust the. I don't know if it's just getting weak.
Probably.
It might just need to be replaced on that, but
Oh, Casey will fix it.
We got it. Okay.
All right, done with that. Item 19.
So this is our resolution for your new budget year 24-25. I forgot last month to give you my resolution for my budget transfers. So I would just need a motion to approve the budget transfers for the new budget year.
So moved.
Second.
Lori? Okay.
Moore,
Yes.
Mar, Moody,
Yes.
Ingstrom,
yes,
Engelhardt.
yes.
All right. Takes us to consent agenda. In there.
Just one quick thing on the hometown celebration parade. We need to discuss the parade route since we believe the downtown will be tore up in probably one lane. So we were thinking of the same route as the Lago Bomber parade, which would be starting at the Lowell Park, down Oak to East Tilden, down Maple to the fairgrounds. So much shorter route. Yes,
You're not going
please.
down Main Street then?
We wouldn't be able to if it's one lane, no.
We're doing construction with that kind of.
Right out in front here?
Yeah, absolutely. I saw the one calls.
This one up too, huh?
I think they're gonna
Yeah,
start
all
tearing
the-
sidewalks here by the end of the month.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it will be.
A month away.
Yeah.
Are they doing the entire both sides? I mean, because like out on the way to Casey's, there's just kind of a concrete hatching.
Right,
Is
so
that all
th-
coming
that
out
won't
yet?
get overlay on Tilden, but the rest will.
Well, it seems a little backward that they're doing the sidewalks already, but they know where those sidewalks are gonna go, right? And it's the sidewalk and the infrastructure underneath, that's all, all this repairing is paid for by the state?
Right, yeah, but the only infrastructure underneath would be the water lines and the city's paying that.
It's okay, it's
And they're close to, we're on the home stretch with that. That's almost
yeah,
done.
it's carrying up like water lines and stuff, okay.
And was there somebody down by the bowling alley had a lot of damage due to some backed up water? Did I hear?
Mike Regala.
And it was considered flood by his insurance.
Right.
He didn't have flood insurance. Dirty pool.
Who had damage?
Mike Regala.
His auto shop?
No,
where he
where he lives.
Okay.
So anyway, I just want to make you aware of that parade route. So I don't know, we probably won't need an MC this year then if we don't have the mic to the downtown, I guess, right?
Well,
Or how would
Put
we-
him on a lawn someplace.
he probably could. My question is though, is it a problem? You know, for spectators, is that a problem? I mean,
People stand on the curb to the.
I mean,
sidewalk.
it's just something we're gonna have to deal with or else nobody comes, but
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
might have a parade. Folks.
Yeah.
It's rain on the parade, but
We've had a lot of people calling us about the
want to
parade.
be in it.
Yes.
Really?
What's the bypass for vehicles? If you, I mean, what do you do with highway traffic? Normally, are they just held up?
It's gonna be one way.
Yeah,
it directs them.
yeah, and we've got detour routes.
We had to have detour
But the
routes.
detour routes are,
We
are
can't.
I was gonna
No.
say, your detour is kind of squashed
Part of the
too.
construction.
Yeah.
With you, Larry.
I'm just trying to figure out how.
Well, it'll work. I mean, this will work, you know, and it's just, you know, because
We just would need to make sure that we're giving adequate notice to the public of where the route
Yeah,
is.
Right.
Yeah.
And there just would be no MC this year. And
Well, that doesn't bother me.
doesn't bother me either.
And would our
That's a
two
good
street
job.
projects of our own be completed by then? In that area, like on Live Brand and
Gosh, that's a good question too, isn't it?
What was that?
Oh, the
I didn't
library.
hear
Well,
the
that's
question.
what
Live
the
Brand
overlays
would
for the
just-
new fiscal year. Librand's in July because it's in the new budget year. That overlay.
yeah, we're good.
Yeah, we're okay.
and what was the other? Is that Oak?
Oak, you're gonna go up Oak from the park.
Yeah.
And
What
then
about
you
that
take,
intersection with those goofballs that we have? Oh, no.
then you
I
take
never
a
thought about
almost
that.
straight
What?
ahead.
Well, they'll just have to step it up.
Yeah,
But it'll work.
yeah, we'll figure it out.
It'll be okay.
Is what's the date of the parade?
Always the Friday of the Big Four Fair, so the 14th, June 14th would be the day.
And that ends up being the third weekend of June, right?
That's correct. And the parade lineup starts at 6:30 and the parades will start at 7 sharp.
What's it, 7?
The parade
Starts.
starts 6:30 lineup around Moles Park.
Okay.
So it's the 14th or the 21st, which is
Is the Big Four.
You said the third or the second Friday?
Third.
Third,
Friday.
June 14th. It's always Father's Day weekend.
The third Friday would be the
same weekend
21st.
as the
Right,
alumni
so it's not-
banquet.
It's always Father's Day
Right.
weekend. So
so
June
it's the
14th.
14th.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's Flag Day, just so anybody.
I
knows.
know, yeah.
I'm like, what am I got?
We can have lots of fun.
Like, yeah.
The,
Before.
your folks though is before that one, right? What day is,
May 26th.
yeah,
it's
so
Memorial
we'll have
Day.
a pre-run.
Yeah, we'll have a pre-run.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
You're driving too fast anyway, Larry. You won't catch it.
I know.
Don't be here.
I thought maybe I could, like, write out something to announce the parade while I'm on. One of those things, like you stand up with they have two wheels.
Oh, yeah, one of the,
Bill Armstrong got hurt on one.
I love it.
Yeah, so you suppose you could get a little hurt too.
Segway, yeah.
Oh, a Segway, yeah. Announce with Segway.
Down there and just roll around between the floats or whatever the heck. Not we have floats, but.
So that's the route. That's, I
Okay.
think, yep.
No, you could be
I could have a
posted.
golf cart with speakers on it.
Yeah.
You could,
We
you
could
could
do all
it
kinds.
from,
You know where I'm at. Come get the papers.
You know where you could do it at the big house the big blue house. Next to the
Funeral home.
funeral home.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
Well,
you will figure.
Get the papers from Darcy.
All right, anything else then in that consent agenda that strikes you?
I just said in the police department report, the 40 traffic citations, that doesn't include the cameras, does it? I mean, we surely have more for the cameras. Okay.
Not even close.
But 40 people you stopped in 1 month? Oh my
Mhm.
goodness.
The camera, you still hanging in there? Or?
The revenue's going
No,
It's
down.
going down.
It's going
I
down.
thought maybe
we
with
expected
construction.
that.
Construction's slowed a lot of it.
People.
Yeah.
All that.
Construction slowed a lot of it down,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
good. So
Being that there's an orange signage up now that says construction, is that considered a construction zone then and the fines are double?
not on the cameras, but on individual stops it is. I just had one the other day down on North Lawler. The guy, yeah, but I included the construction zone, so
Can we
went from
change the parameters on the camera to allow it to construction zone?
No.
So whatever that
Oh,
is.
okay. Okay, that's it.
I've had enough phone calls. I don't want any more.
I have a question. I read the article in the paper about, speaking of cameras, that towns that aren't 20,000 people have to send in another request for them. We have to do that.
Have to get permitted.
Yeah, we have to get a permit.
Yeah.
But isn't that like that? All that stuff isn't both really taking effect till 26.
Right.
Year 26.
Right.
Okay.
But it has effect for the folks that were
That-
seriously or that had already passed it,
Right,
right?
yeah.
Because they won't be able to move ahead.
No.
with this.
Yeah.
I mean, like the Claremonts.
Right.
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 They won't have a speed camera until 2026.
They will not be able to know.
They got the poll up, but they might have made
They
the
might
deadline.
meet it.
No,
Yeah,
you think
I
so?
think-
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
so.
Okay.
That's
It's
gonna
the
be
other
hard.
towns that are trying to get in, like Elgin. I don't think they're going to make it. They want to put
The speed camera too. Huh?
all.
Well, Lansing did too.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
so,
Lansing made the cut, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, all 4 areas coming into town, Larry. So you need to slow down when you're going through Elgin.
All 4 areas.
Yeah.
You need to slow
It'll
down.
be a very spendy trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to stay at.
There's not a gravel road
Stay
you
at
can
Gino
find.
Lehman's or St. Christian's or someplace down in there.
There's not a gravel road for you to find.
All right. Is there a motion to accept the consent agenda?
I'd make a motion to accept the consent agenda.
Second.
I'll second it.
I'd
All
just
those
like to go on the record to tell Chris I enjoyed kind of reading his report about how he's maintaining that plant
Yeah.
after all the hoo-ha that went on with the tricky or the
That
processing
waste.
plant. So I think
And
he does
they did pay their fine, but we will be sending them another billing here this week.
Oh, they
So
did pay.
but just I was going to tell him tonight, but I didn't get a chance to just pass the word on that. I appreciate how well he does his report on that. So.
All those in favor say aye.
Right.
Aye.
Oh, say no. Okay, then 22, resolution for money to pay the bills. Yes, it is.
So move.
Second, Darcy. Wherever you're ready.
Moore,
Yes.
Mar, Moody,
Yes.
Engelhardt. Sorry, Engstrom. Engelhardt.
Yes,
Okay, got it.
I don't know who said yes, what.
I think you said yes twice.
Pro tem for things.
Wow, I know, but that's not legal.
Past
That's
our
not
bedtime.
legal at all. Yeah.
I have some questions on this pass around. What are these three things about showing blacktop and garbage cans and stuff like that? I think it relates to Kermit Miller.
Oh, okay.
And
Are
Kermit
we
Miller
gonna, is
didn't
he
show
gonna
up.
be on next time or does he have to apply again?
Yes, he didn't show up. So as far as we're concerned, it's a done deal.
Who is he?
Seeing that we raised the alley and caused flooding into his garage. However, if you see the pictures, and Dave was actually here tonight, we matched it all up, and you can see that in those photos. There's no issues with the city's entrance drive here. There was no issues with the cement beyond. And you can kind of see where the old cement was, where he dumped in all that blacktopping.
Right. And that looks like it slopes away from the garage right there.
So he kind of created his own mess.
Yeah.
So he sloped it away.
But you're looking, he's talking about that little shed. So is there a picture of the shed?
It might be darn little.
I think we were just taking pictures of the line.
Yeah, it's when you pull out of the alley here, Larry, it's right,
On the
it's
corner.
right on the, in the corner.
That's the one.
Oh, yeah.
Was it this or the other?
There.
Yeah, it's that one.
Yeah.
So he didn't come, so I guess it's a done deal, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
let's see,
unless he comes in again.
When if Blackfield's gonna increase their rate 27%, nothing you can do about it. Green New Deal, eh?
I didn't.
Smile and wave.
Yeah. Pay more, get less.
What's that? Pay more, get less. There we go. Okay.
Before you close, can I just say something?
Sure.
Oh,
I have
sure.
to tell something before. You said you would be mad if anybody would have voted no, but I just wanted to be true to my principles and just tell you that this Culpeper and Meriwether surface, if anybody had looked into them, like since 1991 or to 2021, they've been cited by the USDA over 30 times for mistreatment of animals in their show or whatever.
Housing.
And yeah, not providing proper shelter. And then in 2021, a judge actually suspended their license for 6 months because of the stuff that they had done. So, I mean, there's nothing you can do about it because she said the contract was already signed. But I just want to make it known that
Be
it's
aware.
Not, yeah.
Yeah.
just-
Do we know if they cleaned up their act since then?
well, it's just, the most recent one was in 2021. So
So
it's
hopefully,
3 years
That's 3
ago.
years.
I highly doubt it. But
can I ask a question? Am I just special or am I the only one that got this?
You were gone when everybody got that, so I wanted to make sure you had your
I
copy.
thought, darn, I thought I was special.
Well, you are.
You are.
You are. Yeah, very special.
And they're saying there's mistreatment of animals in the show too.
yes, in the show and then I'm not an activist, but I just
Well, I
I
appreciate
just wanted
hearing
to
that.
be known that it's not.
I like the things you read in the car when you're traveling, the thing from the library, called An Orphan's Tale. Recommend it.
It's good.
Have some people in World War II.
Oh, and then I had something else, sorry, from Brenda Hackman. Sorry. Up June 12th and 13th at the Winnebago Hotel in Decorah. There's going to be a stand-up rural America regional forum. And it would be very nice if any of us could go. They're going to be talking a lot of planning and leadership, housing, entrepreneurship, workforce, arts and culture, tourism, communication. And until June 10th, it's $179 for the registration. Then the price goes up. But if you want to, whatever, call me or email me, and I can give you Brenda's contact information. It'd be very nice if we could go. Happens to be my next Jewish holiday. June
Aren't you the
so I'm
fortunate
fine. Yeah.
Save
Well, I was planning to go. I was
Save
really
$179.
Yeah. Well, if 5 of you decide to go, they have a special price for 5. But very nice.
$179 a person?
Yeah, for the 2-day registration. That's the early bird.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think so.
Must not. All right. Anything else? Not, is there a motion to adjourn? Second. All those in favor say aye. Those say no. Okay, thanks, you guys.
Hey, Darcy, did you get this? You left it.
Yes, I have what copy she left me.
Okay, does that, you wanna take
I can
two?
take it, yeah.
You wanna pass it down, please? Thank you.
I think outside of
Where's that at?
I was debating on signing up for that stand up for America.
Oh, can you shut
I'll